guys, what's up? This is GVKcollectibles. I hope you all had a great weekend. I know I did. I got to see some manatees in Ocala, which was pretty awesome. They're just big sea cows, essentially. So I had a great weekend, and also on that weekend, it was, of course, the auction for Mythical Mountain Monday, aka the claim sale, as I think they should. Well, they just call it an auction because I think it sounds a lot more catchier, but a lot of cool things, a lot of really cool things. So let me show you the stack real quick. This is just purely comics for this. Well, and I got a few other things, of course, from Mythical Mountain, as I always do. So yeah, once again, it was a great show. Really fun show. We had a lot of great, wonderful books, as I said, in that pile. So before we jump into the books, of course, I did get some kind of smaller things from Mythical Mountain. So the first thing I got from Mythical Mountain is I got a new mask, aka these are kind of becoming our own little, with COVID-19 going on right now, this is also kind of an extension of our identity too, of masks. So, and this one's a Venom one. I've been rocking a Friday the 13th one since really October, so I was looking forward to getting a new one. Fortunately, I didn't have any Godzilla ones, although I'm pretty sure they actually do make some Godzilla ones that are pretty cool. But this Venom one is pretty cool. I really love Venom. I really like the character of Venom, so I'm really excited to get this mask and wear it. I'm not going to put it on right now because I need to wash it. Next things next. I got this really awesome Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from Lanyard with really cool version of the poster right there. I wonder if that's actually a little card, which is really cool. And it also comes with a little keychain too that has the poster, the awesome poster from the 90s. Once again, this is really cool. This is done by BioWorld. They do a lot of these cool kind of lanyard things here. They do like a lot of merchandising, like hats and this, and I even think they do. I can't remember what else they do, but BioWorld does a lot of cool stuff. They do pins. They do a lot of cool like non-figure collectible stuff, which is really cool, and it makes you want to express yourself as a fan, which I really love. And I love this one. This is going to be my new lanyard for my my truck keys. I actually still use a lanyard. So yeah, laugh at me all you want. The next one I got, this is pretty cool. I really loved, we did a review on the NECA figure, of course, of this particular, I did a review of the NECA figure, but I got the Creep, the Team Terror's Creep, and this series has been really awesome, really fun, just such a cool little series that they've done. They've done a lot of figures that I would normally not think I would get, because usually I more collect the Ultimate style and even a little bit of the cloth figures. But man, these Toon Terror figures are becoming some of my favorite, and I really wish this line came around the time they had the Godzilla license, because I think they would have done a killer Godzilla. They could do a killer Kong, though, because I'm pretty sure they can do a King Kong one. I think that would be really cool. This is the Creep from the Creep Show TV show / movie. I mainly just say movie. It is primarily based off the one from the TV show on Shudder, which is, I think, a phenomenal show. It really encapsulates the spirit. And the Crypt Keeper looks really great. I think this one looks a heck of a lot more, in terms of like the color palette and everything, a lot more accurate. But I do love that 7-inch figure still, because it is just so cool to have something from the Creep Show like license, because you don't really get too much of that. But yeah, this guy's going to be really cool. He's probably going to be posed with my other ones. The only other two that I have are Nosferatu, aka Count Orloff, I believe, aka Nosferatu, and Reagan from The Exorcist. But this one is really cool. I'm really glad to have it in the collection. So, starting off with comic books, this is a really cool one. Once again, I didn't get this one from the auction itself, but this one is a pretty cool one. It is Alien Salvation. It has different writers. Dave Gibson has Mike Mignola, who is mostly known for Hellboy, and Kevin Nowland. And for those of you who don't know, Dave Gibson, he did the art on Watchmen, probably one of the most influential kind of modern comic books ever, written by Alan Moore, of course. But this is really cool. The art is super killer. Mignola does such an awesome job, and I don't think I've actually read a book with Mignola art front and center. That could be a complete lie, but I'm very excited to read this because I've heard nothing but good things. This is just a one-shot, so yeah, it's really, really cool. I love just, the cover is just absolutely phenomenal. I love Minola's art, and I love how he draws his xenomorph. He's super, super, super creepy and super cool. So the first one, so the first actual comic book that I got on the auction itself, this one is pretty cool. It is Usagi Yojimbo, the Samurai Bunny. This is from Mirage Publishing, aka they're the guys who are best known for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, and this is Volume 2, the beginning of Volume 2, Number 1, and mainly the reason I picked it up was because I think it's cool, like, it's a cool design. Like, Usagi Yojimbo is a really, really cool design, and also, too, he is getting, I believe, a animated series or a movie coming out. I'm pretty sure it's an animated series, so that's why I mainly picked it up, just because he's going to be a cool, hopefully a cool, hot character, and hopefully they do him correctly. But like in the now of where we're getting comic book movies that are really, really accurate to their source material. They do take some liberties, but you gotta extend because there's some crazy stuff within comics, which, as we all know. But I am very excited. I just thought it was a cool cover. Like, Usagi Yojimbo is one of those characters who looks really, really cool, really unique to me. This one is pretty cool. So this is, unfortunately, it's signed, but it doesn't have a COA. Just assumingly, just because that wasn't a thing back then, like to say this is approved. But it is the Infinity Gauntlet #1. This is signed by George Perez, the artist of this epic story of epic proportions by Jim Starlin. It was really cool. You got like Thanos, you got, I think that's Mephisto, you got Silver Surfer, you got all these guys. There's Hawkeye, I don't know who that is, that's Hulk. But it's really, really cool, really well done. The Perez's art is just killer on this. This iconic, this cover is just so super, super iconic, and they eventually, like, I think for promotional art for Infinity War, they remade essentially this cover with Thanos on. Like, they made Thanos look how he does in this book, which is really, really cool, which I really love. Once again, just killer art, and a fun book too. This next one's pretty cool. So this one is, this is actually cool. This is the first appearance of this specific suit. Is Web of Spider-Man number 100 from 1993, of course, and it is of the Armored Spider. So this is the first appearance of the Armored Spider, the Mark I, essentially. This was, I think, really the first time Peter Parker really delved into doing alternate suits, where there is a crap ton of them now. I think this is after the symbiote, of course, but this was like the first one, like the first armor suit, and it only is in it. I think it's only in it for a few pages, and it's immediately destroyed because because I forget who he's fighting. I think he may be fighting. He's fighting somebody. I can't remember who the hell he's fighting in this book, but because of the armor. Oh, he's fighting, I think it's just because it's bulletproof, and he's fighting against people who are using guns, so, which is really, really cool. But yeah, really cool. Like, the armor design, it's like, not dated, but there's just something about the armor design for this particular suit of Spider-Man that just looks really killer, really cool, and just really iconic. I mean, it kind of became its own, and even in the animated series, it became its, like, when they did multiverse thing, kind of before Spider-Verse, that was an alternate Peter Parker in a reality of where he was rich and famous, very much kind of like Tony Stark, which is really, really cool. This next one is pretty cool, too. It is What If the Phoenix Rose Again? Now, I assume that this storyline is if Jean Grey came back as a Phoenix, which she most certainly eventually did. Oh, it's still, also crazy part too, this is still polybagged too, which is crazy. So it's like a double polybag. So, oh yeah, it's just an alternate take of what if Jean Grey came back as the Phoenix, because at this point, I think within the comic books, she had been dead for quite a bit. I mean, I think she especially is on par, maybe with Professor X, I'm not completely sure, of a character that has died so many times that it's kind of ridiculous, but kind of funny at the same time. But yeah, pretty cool. I am probably going to definitely read these. These What If books are always interesting. They are doing a series on Disney Plus, of course, which, like, I think is fully cool, and it's, like, animated, too, so we get to see different kind of points of view, different kind of takes on stories, which usually what these are, about half the time, they're not as good as the original stories, but they're just fun. These are just fun little stories to do. This next one is pretty cool. So this is based, it's from Marvel, but it's not just any Marvel book. If I can grab it. It is the 3-issue limited series of Darkman, and this is the official movie adaptation of the comic book adaptation of the movie. This is directed by Sam Raimi. This is very much inspired by like superhero movies, which is really, really cool and really great. Liam Neeson's actually in it. He's actually Darkman, aka Peyton Westlake, which is really, really cool. I've actually not seen Darkman, but I should, because it has Sam Raimi, and I love Sam Raimi. He's doing Doctor Strange 2, which I think should be interesting, especially, well, we'll be right back in a minute. I'll be right back in a minute, because the camera is about to cut out on me, and I'll continue talking about Darkman. Be right back. Alright, as I was saying about Darkman, so once again, directed by Sam Raimi, a really, really cool kind of horror, not horror, but a superhero book. This was, I think, actually before him directing Spider-Man, which, like, not put him on the map. Evil Dead really put Sam Raimi on the map, but, like, he's just a solid director. He's doing Doctor Strange 2, which, luckily, kind of in a segue to the next book that we're gonna do. Speaking of which, WandaVision, holy crap! This series, WandaVision, the series on Disney Plus, has ultimately taken me by surprise. It was one of the series that I was kind of, when they were advertising it and when it was announced, I kind of had less interest in it, even though I love the Scarlet Witch character. I like Vision. They're very unique characters within the comic books and stories, especially Scarlet Witch. She's a super powerful character and also very interesting. Elizabeth Olsen has been really great in it, but WandaVision, the series, has been fantastic. The first, I think people complain about the first 3 episodes being relatively slow, the first 2 primarily, but then you could see stuff get picked up within the 3rd, and now with this newest episode, of course, crap is going wild, which is really great and really cool to see that they're really delving into this side of the Marvel universe, which is really, really cool. But speaking of which, this kind of ties with not this episode, the episode that happened last Friday, or this Friday I should say, but the one before, and it is the birth of the twins, Tommy and Billy, aka Wiccan and Speed. Well, Speed and Wiccan, which is really cool, and I think they will stay, whatever happens at the end of the series, I think those 2 characters are going to be mainstays, because they are essentially, they play a big part into doing the Young Avengers, and we know Kate Bishop is going to be in the Kate Bishop's going to be in the MCU. Same thing with Cassie Cage, who's going to be her superhero persona eventually, I think, within Ant-Man 3 possibly. And there are more characters. Hell, you could put Spider-Man in the Young Avengers, but who knows. But this is actually the birth of the twins, which is really, really cool. Basically, this series was also is partially the big inspiration for WandaVision, where they move out to the suburbs and have a life essentially together, but with the biggest difference with WandaVision, it's clearly something's going on in an alternate reality, like in this kind of alternate pocket dimension that whatever Wanda has created, or somebody helped her create. We don't know yet, because that's the best thing. It's like, we don't know what's going on, and I think that's great with the MCU. It's definitely this, WandaVision has definitely really, when I just thought, I was like, I'm kind of done with the Marvel movies, just because I'll watch, like, Spider-Man and particular projects that catch my eye, but man, WandaVision's just been, like, really bringing me back in, which is great. So these next few books, these are pretty much going to be all my kind of favorite character, one of my favorite characters that I've really grown to love, Vampirella. So first one we have is Vampirella Strikes. This is a really, really cool, really awesome looking cover from, it's issue number 7. It also is the 25th anniversary of Vampirella at this time. The character is nearly 50 years old now, which is kind of crazy to think, but like, it just shows you how well the character lasts. And the series that I am kind of continuously trying to collect, there's a few series that I actually want the trades for. Many of you know the first one is the Godzilla series, the original Marvel run of the Godzilla series, which I just absolutely love. The Dark Horse series also, and probably subsequent series. I'll depend, maybe do Rulers of Earth, but anyway, back to Vampirella. So I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 issues of Vampirella. We have the 0 issue. We have issue 3, which I already have, but I will actually look at this particular one to see if it's actually better than... well, that's weird. It says number 4 on the back. I gotta talk to... I'll figure that out, but yeah. Issue 3. Issue 8, which looks like it has like a poly bag in it, which looks really cool, and it has a Topps card in it, which I'm definitely going to get that out. I think I already had this issue, but I got it anyway again, just to test it. It looks pretty cool, just vampire with this kind of werewolf-looking dude. But yeah, we got a 12, 13, 14 and 16, 17, 18, 21, and 22. So that's pretty much all the Vampirella stuff. Once again, this is a series, this particular series I am going after just primarily because I really love the current Vengeance book that's going on, which is actually a sequel to this series. Has the same writer and everything, which is really, really cool. And that same artist, I think both art on, like, the covers on each of these look really great. The Vengeance of Vampirella currently going on right now have just wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, breathtaking art, which Dynamite, I think, always does really, really well with their artists. So, with that out of the way, let's get on to our next thing. So this one's really, really cool because they announced, one, a reboot, and this is also a complete cult classic. It is the first issue of the first superhero from New Jersey, and that is the Toxic Avenger from Marvel Comics. And this is done by, for those of you who don't know, this is produced by Troma, which they just produce crazy, ridiculous movies, like crazy exploitation films. Like you get Toxic Avenger, which is their best known one. You get stuff, a personal favorite of mine, Surf Nazis Must Die, which is great and awesome, and kind of crazy from the name, but it's fun. You got Kabuki Man, PD, something where he's like, it's a kabuki guy who a cop who gets the powers of Kabuki Warrior, which is, it could be offensive now, but it's like kind of ridiculous and crazy, but like, yeah, Troma is just fun. This is ultimately going to be a new, they are actually rebooting the series with, I think, Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger, which is crazy to me. But yeah, it's really, really cool, really fun. Like, Toxic Avenger is just one of those things where it's just like one of those crazy cult classic things I enjoy about, like, Troma, because it's just so, like, Troma movies are just so ridiculous when just like the violence and everything, and like just the jokes are just, it's just crazy. So the next one is, this is actually the issue, this is actually a series I wanted to jump on, but I didn't. I kind of got into it late. It is Red Sonja, The Birth of the She-Devil. This is, I think, was a 5-issue mini, I believe, if I'm completely right. And it basically tells the retells the origin of Red Sonja, because ultimately Dynamite, much like the Vampirella books, and pretty much any other books that they have, they even do with crossover events, especially with Vampirella and Red Sonja, they're in kind of different realities, so they can have multiple books going on with different realities. Like the main Vengeance, the main Vampirella book is different from Vengeance. The main Red Sonja book right now is different from Bloods of Sand, I believe, which is the current series that is going on. That is technically a sequel series to this book, which is really good. Really beautiful art, as I said. Dynamite just killed, like, their art, like, they know how to do like really cool covers. They have too many, I think, too many variant covers in comparison to like somebody like Marvel, but you know, that's just me. I think they do a lot more than Marvel. This next one is pretty cool. This is actually really been one of my favorite series coming out of the whole Dawn of X, the whole X-Men stuff. It is X Factor, which is essentially just when basically the first issue is just them setting up the just X Factor investigation Texas, because mutants can get revived, because the mutants no longer have to fear death because they can just be reborn on Krakoa. But with luckily some of that, they're basically X Factors put in place of where they can determine death. So it's basically kind of it's a detective book, which is really, really cool and really well done. It has a like fun team. Like, it has like characters that I wouldn't think I would normally like within a comic book. Like, not normally, who I would normally not think of X characters, but they're just fun, and the dynamic of the team is really, really great, really unique. The art in the book is absolutely killer. It's just a fun, cool style, and it's definitely a fun book. This was actually the first book that came out after the specific issue. I think it was issue number 5 for X Factor. That came after Sword of X, which was just a really palate cleanser book, and it was just a feel-good book, which was really, really great. So this next one is really, really cool. It's actually an older book. It is Swamp Thing, number 12. Swamp Thing number 12 from October. I don't know when though, but it is really, really cool. You got Swamp Thing. I think that's Alec. It's Alec fighting a dinosaur, which is really, really cool. I don't know who. Let me actually check, because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to tell. Oh, that's cool. And it also has an ad for the Daisy, a Daisy BB gun, which is really, really cool. Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, no, this is not the Swamp Thing realm, but like, look at that. Like, look at the art on that. It's so great. It is a little bit of an older book. It is beat up relatively, which like a lot of these older comic books are. They're not, but it's still a cool book. I really got it only because of the cover, because I think the cover looks good, but I also really like the Swamp Thing as a character. I think he's a really, really cool, interesting character. Now the next one, this one's actually pretty cool. It is a little relatively beat up, but it is Marvel Comics. Edgar Rice presents John Carter, Warlords of Mars, issue number 11. This is the origin of Deja Thorne, who's become like a very, very popular character. John Carter and the whole Warlord of Mars series, like I think it started out as a book, and is just really, really popular and really great. I know a lot of people love it, and this is Deja Thorne. She currently is at Dynamite right now, and she is a main fixture. Like, I consider her, Red Sonja, and Vampirella to be the main 3 at Dynamite Comics, which is really, really cool. Once again, I don't know if you guys can tell, but when we get pictures when I get pictures of this on Instagram, it is a little beat up comparative to like a normal comic book, which is fine. But yeah, that is the final comic book for today on Mythical Mountain Monday. I hope, hey guys, I got the camera cut off right as I was about to get to the exit, so instead I'm just going to re-say the outro, I should say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I got a lot of cool books. I was really happy with the auction. Just Tony and Steve just make it super fun to be on the auction, get everybody on the chat is always super cool, super fun, and but yeah, if you like the video, remember hit like and also hit subscribe so you can get the little bell notification. Also hit the little bell notification so you get notified when Mythical Mountain Mondays, What's in the Box Wednesdays, and figure reviews come out, and also like fun little videos that we do on the side. Also check us out on Instagram. I'm GVKcollectibles, of course. You can check out my brother Jack's Pop Guy. Also check us out on our respective Mercari shops. Links will always be down below. So yeah, hopefully your guys' week goes really great, and hopefully nothing really uneventful happens. Hopefully it'll just be a smooth week for you guys, and I will talk to you later. Peace.